Hello everyone, welcome to November's vlog. It is currently November 4th. I have oats on the stove, so I need to make sure I don't burn them. Yes, November 4th, we're doing it a bit early because my housemate is currently away. We've got 10 days until she comes back from the mines, and also in December, her dad is here. So I'm gonna have to do an earlier vlog just to not be intrusive while he's here and filming vlogs. So I have no idea what I'm going to read in this one. My reading has been all over the shop over the last week or so. I am currently about 50% of the way through of The Shadow Rising by Robert Jordan, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to finish it in the next 10 days or so. Just going to give that a bit of a mix. And the other thing that I'm in the middle of, I'm at 30% of Foot in the Grave by Zachary and Joshua Forbes, which I'll put up here. This is the follow-up to Three Rivers Plague, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's what my brain needs right now. It's like, think if The Walking Dead was in book form, but with mafia politics. That's the simplest explanation I can give you, but it is a book too, so I don't want to give too much away. I think I might start Mask of Mirrors, because I asked my friend Esme earlier in the year, maybe even the end of last year, what's a series I should read this year? And she said The Rook and Rose, which I think is what the series is called. And I haven't started it, and it's November. So I don't know, I did not put it on my TBR. It was not on my radar, but it has been calling to me, so maybe I'll start that one. Today Rachel and I, it's Monday, so I've got the day off. Rachel and I are going to the zoo. I don't know how I feel about zoos as a concept, but ethical dilemmas aside, we got free tickets, so all Perth residents got up to 4 free tickets for spring to go and I guess boost tourism before their peak period at end of year and school holidays and things like that. So we got free tickets. We are currently middle class impoverished, so free date, may as well go and give that a go. I can hear that bubbling, so I'm going to go and check on it because I always decide to film when I shouldn't. Anyway, so breakfast, we'll probably get some footage at the zoo, and then, I don't know, we might go to lunch afterwards, we'll see. We'll save money with free events and then go and spend it on food, like you should. Anyway, I'll catch the next update, which I don't know when it will be. Okay, bye. Tuesday, the 5th of November. Got up super early this morning, not by design. I was in bed by 8:15 last night. So my body clock woke up at 4:30. So I've walked the dogs, been to the gym, read for about half an hour. Dogs are eating outside. I'm about to set up for work. But zoo yesterday, it was fine. I think Rachel and I have collectively decided that we don't love the zoo in terms of I don't know, animals in captivity. It's really sad. The conservation side of the zoo, where they're actively working to help breed endangered species in Australia and release them back into the wild, train them to be able to fend for themselves and releasing them back into the wild is really cool. And I liked that. And I liked learning about that a lot. So they had a certain breed of turtle that they were breeding and releasing back into the wild, the numbats. So numbats are if a bilby and a squirrel had a baby, that's what a numbat looks like. And they're super cute. They're Australia's version of a squirrel, but they have a lot of predators, so they get picked off pretty easily. So we got to see them. We got to see some of their their little hospital area, which was cute. The black cockatoo had a full hospital area where they get the ones that they find in the wild that have been wounded, and they get them back, they breed them, and they set them free. So that side of things was really cool. But hello, Valerie. You just had breakfast. If you could leave me alone for 5 minutes, that'd be great. Okay. So that was really cool. But yeah, we went and saw the elephant, and it was moving side to side quite it was having a good go. And a lot of people go, oh, it's dancing, but they do that to stimulate their brain because they're bored from captivity. And a lot of the enclosures that we went to only had one animal. Anyway, the Australian climate, it's not great for a lot of the animals who aren't native to it here. So we went and saw penguins. I was like, penguins? It's so hot. So when we went and saw penguins in an aquarium in Melbourne, that actually it was like full ice. Like it was that it replicated Antarctica, and like the exhibit was really cool. It had heaps of space. But yeah, it was like, it's hot. These poor little guys are like just swimming in normal water. Anyway, I don't think we'll be going back to the zoo. Maybe conservation parks, where it's at for the native animals. I don't know. That part was cool. Moral dilemma has been decided where we stand. I've just got to 50% of Foot in the Grave by Zachary and Joshua Forbes. I think I'm going to aim for another 10% today to get to 60, and then I will start Mask and Mirrors tonight, hopefully. I do want to like put together a goals sheet today and just step back and really think of like day-to-day goals that I want to achieve, like drinking 2 liters of water a day, reading for an hour a day, like just little things like that, just to realign, get the habits back into place. So I think I'll do that. This morning, I've still got a little bit of time before work, so I'll do that before work. And yeah, I need to go to the post office this afternoon to take the winner of Dark Town's package in and pay for that and ship that off to the US, so that'll be good. And yeah, that's all I've got planned. I'll need to edit Steve's book review tonight, so I will do that as well. Busy day. Okay, that is the update. I will talk to you at some other point. Hello everyone, the lighting in here sucks because I turned off the ring light. It is Tuesday night. I have got my dev edit back from the editor. There's a 10-page document worth of notes, not necessarily of changes, but things that could make the story better and enhance it. It is so detailed and I'm very grateful, but it does give me a lot to work on, and still hoping to make the time frame that I want to make. So basically what will happen from here is I will work on the dev edit notes based on what's come back. So this 10-page report, it goes through what she liked, the plot, the characters, each of those, like the plot and the character points have like in-depth thoughts and feelings about what could make the story stronger or what's good. And I'm going to try and have that edited and done by the end of the year, which is about 7 weeks, which could be rather ambitious. But my thought process there is to try and have when it comes back the second time after going through language, I would love to have this with beta readers relatively early in 2025, and I have a handful of people who are interested and have offered very kindly. I don't know if I'll do a beta reader call out because I'm only looking for between 5 to 8 and I currently have 5, so we'll see how that goes there. But yeah, I'm intimidated but very excited. Some good points, and I don't know, I can see that the story being a lot stronger than it currently is, which is the point, I guess, but there's definitely a lot to think about there. In other news, I did start the Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. I've only read like 30 pages. It's currently 9 o'clock. I need to be up at 5:30, so I'm going to go to bed and try and read a little bit more of this, but we'll see how far we get. But I thought I'd just give you a writing update saying that I've got the dev edits back. I will probably process that report for a couple of days. Normally when I get some cardio in is like good thinking time, so walking, bike riding, things like that, to think about it, start processing. I anticipate I will plan for the changes. So I'll probably read through that report again. My brain works better in the morning, so very likely on my weekend in the morning, I will sit down, I will work out a plan for the changes and then go forward from there. But yeah, that is the update. I have some book mail tomorrow, but this lighting sucks. It's not going to do it justice. So I will show you that in the morning. Hello everyone, it is Wednesday. I am back from the office. I work in the office on Wednesday, so I've just gotten back. It's about 5:30 and we have some book mail to open. The Bartender Between Worlds by Herman Stillnagel. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But this was the Kickstarter that I backed, hardcover special edition. I'm really keen to see the book IRL. Yeah, I didn't realize it was coming this fast, so very excited. Let us open it up and have a look at what's inside. This is so pretty. The foiling on this is next level. So this is the Bartender Between Worlds. It is a indie cozy fantasy where our main character discovers her magic is good for mixing cocktails, and she wants to sort of live a peaceful life, and not so peaceful things ensue along the way. But this is absolutely stunning. The edging on this is amazing. We're going to take off the dust jacket and have a look at that. That's so cool. The foiling on there. We've got some artwork on the inside. My kind of artwork with the whiskey glasses there. I am number 62 of 185. We've got the signature. Try and find some of this art in here. Isn't this insane? That light's not going to do this justice at all. These were done by Herman's partner, which is just incredible, incredible artist. It's definitely what I like. The story, don't get me wrong, but the artwork in this and the attention to detail of this edition really sold me on it. I do have a letter to open as well, which I will do so off camera. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the Bartender Between Worlds. It is what an edition. I'm so happy that I backed the Kickstarter for that one. Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday night. I've just finished A Foot in the Grave by Joshua and Zachary Forbes. I'll give an update on my thoughts on that tomorrow because it is 9 o'clock and I'm pathetic at night, so I'm sleepy. But I am going into the office tomorrow and I don't carry my physical read with me because it can get destroyed. So I need a new ebook to read, and Rachel is in the corner. Doesn't like being on camera, but she is willing to lend me her voice for this next bit, and she's going to help me decide what to read based on title alone. So I have 4 titles to pick from. They are all either series continuations or the last book in a series, because I need to start moving some of them off my list. So your choices are Drag in Your Bones, Awakened, River of Stars, and Promise of the Betrayer's Dagger.
River of Stars.
Why? Why River of Stars?
Because it sounds magical and whimsical and all tinkly, and I like that.
Okay. My next ebook read will be River of Stars by Lily Ann Crow, which is book 2 in the Will of the Wayfinder series, because the title sounds magical and whimsical and tinkly. So that is the choice. So I'll be taking that one to work tomorrow. Thank you, Rachel, for your contribution. Hello, everyone. It is Friday, about 5:30 in the evening. I just got home from the office. I forgot to give an update on Foot in the Grave by Josh and Zachary Forbes yesterday. I was sleepy last night. That I got to work, I spent 9 hours there, and then I came home and I have no idea what happened in between those hours. So I'll give you an update now. I really liked this book. Now, this series, The Three Rivers Plague and Foot in the Grave, they are quite a fun genre blend. And I wouldn't say it's like super unique, but at the same time it is. That one of the bulbs just went out in that light. Anyway. It is think like dystopian zombie apocalypse with like mafia shenanigans happening in the background. And I needed some like book candy to just be entertained with, and that's exactly what it was for me. In terms of like a star rating, probably give it around a 3.5, but I was super entertained. So some of my criticisms for the first book, they've really worked on in the second book, which is not because they're my criticisms, I'm not that far on my own, but like you can see their progression as writers and also working together to create this like really full-blooded story. What I will say about Foot in the Grave is the pacing was excellent. There were so many like little hooks at the end of chapters that made me go, oh, just one more. And at the end of that chapter, I'd be like, oh, just one more. And they were also like within, they were, I think the max amount of time I spent in a chapter was about 10 minutes. So they were like short and snappy. And it was really figuring out, so I don't want to give too much away, but in this book, we are learning that, the end of the world has happened, there's a chemical that's been released, and people have turned into hunches, or like zombies, but they're called hunches in this book. And during the first book, we sort of get the initial stages of that, and now our main character, Thomas, who is the head singer in a band, and he sort of had to like go into survival mode and sort out some inner demons. We find out that there's sort of like, I guess, factions across New York and different areas across New York, and there's a food shortage, and people have come in and destroyed their farms, which they were working on, so they need to go and find more food and go and talk to the next people who may have farms and food and supplies that they can then share. What they find is that there is actually a game where people who are on a list, if you murder them, you get your own name taken off the list, and then you in turn don't get murdered. So this sick game, there's still like mafia machinations, there were great hooks involved, and even though it wasn't like the most technically written or excellent book that I've ever read, I had such a fun time with it, and it was exactly what I needed in the moment. I will say that some of my criticisms for the first book do carry over to this one, in terms of if you're a character-driven reader, you may struggle with this one. I did find there was more character work than book one in this one, particularly with Thomas, our main character. He does go through a fair bit of growth, but for anyone else, I didn't really feel super connected to them. I liked a few characters, and I think some of the scenes were written so well that the scenes themselves were gripping and emotional in the moment, but in terms of like those emotions happening to the people in it, I wasn't invested in the people, I was invested in the scene. So character-driven readers may have a bit of a harder time with that one, but I thought it was great. I am up to chapter 40 in The Shadow Rising, really enjoying this one. I really love the more in-depth look that we're getting in terms of how the different groups in this world work together. So the Children of the Light, we've got the Black Aja. Really love learning more about them. Like Leandrin, I love to hate Leandrin. Like, she is someone I despise, and I actively don't like her when she's on the page, but not in the same way I don't like Rand. So there's that. And I am like a Perrin Stan. What is his name? Really enjoying this one a lot. Really like seeing the girls sort of grow up, coming into their own. So Nynaeve, Egwene, Elaine, Moraine, all of the names are just, they're gone. I've learned on Friday afternoons I can't do anything after work, like not even read actively, because my brain is just so fried. It's not even my Friday technically. I work Saturdays. Anyway, and I've only read the first 54 pages of Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, and it is magical. This is like political fantasy. I can feel myself getting sucked into it. Those first 50 pages read so fast, so I'm hoping to read a chunk of that tomorrow. As for tonight, I don't really know what we're going to do. Probably hang out, watch some TV. That seems to be the Friday night situation, and then like go to bed at 8 o'clock, because that is who I am as a person. Hello everyone, it is Saturday afternoon. The sun is like blaring through that window. Anyway, I've just finished work. It's about I want to say 4:30, I don't know. As soon as work finished, I started going through this developmental edit report back from the dev editor. It's about 10 pages, and there's just a lot of questions. So it's super thorough. I don't really want to show too much because it's like spoilers for the book. But what she did was give me sort of an overall what she liked, some overall plot sort of thoughts, things that are quite weak and need work on. But then she did like a full deep dive, like beginning, middle, end, where things could be enhanced. And then every main character she's gone through and been like, tighten up these motivations, here's where this could work. It's really fantastic, and I'll leave her details down below if you are looking for a dev editor. I don't think I'll ever not use one, even for the rest of the series. Just seeing how much better the story could be if I implement a majority of these things. There are a few things in here where she's asked questions where I'm like, well, the purpose. So for example, there's a character who very early on sees their fate. I'm not going to name names or anything, and she's questioned why that's happened so early. So the answer to that, to me, is her purpose was that for a specific reason. So that I'm going to leave in, but basically everything else will enhance the story, I feel. And there's a lot of world building here that will happen for me that won't necessarily go into the book, but then will strengthen books 2 and 3. So it's just a really cool process to, I guess, be on this end of it, because it is something that I would like to do eventually, is jump into dev editing at some point in my life when I can afford the course. But anyway, yes, I've gone through that. I think I'm going to put that aside and just go and like turn my brain off now. But I also wanted to give an update on Mask of Mirrors. I have read the first 100 pages. I'm going to go read some more now because this is fantastic. I've just made my like top 10 series of all time. Already I'm like, this at 100 pages could potentially knock something off the list because it is so good. So we're following Renata, who is like an ex-finger is what they call them. So like an ex-con thief, whatever you want to call them. And she is trying to infiltrate a royal household, or a very well-off household, and seeing the little intricacies of how she's had to change herself. This is like a highly political society. It's a really political book. All of the names are so pretentious and delicious. Like, it's just, I'm having such a good time. It's so magical while I'm reading it. Only 100 pages in, so basically all I know is that Renata is doing a con with this family to try and get money or information from them. There are a lot of other players that we're now sort of picking apart, and I'm starting to get the feeling that there is something more sinister underlying what's about to happen. We've also met the Rook, who is super cool. Valerie's impatient for dinner, so she might come and bully me. She pushed me across the floor earlier because the chair's on wheels. Anyway, yeah, having a fantastic time, and I can't wait to read more of it. So hopefully I'll have more on that later. Also, I just did an update, so it's like 3 seconds later. I think I want to move this and the other shelf, but I don't know. I'll turn this camera around and keep talking. So I think what I want to do is move that here, get a darker curtain so it sort of doesn't play off too much with that wood. Move this, sorry ladies, and that into Rachel's office. So have this come across here, and potentially this big one on an angle so that I can film videos looking at the corner and it's just books. I have no idea what's happening with that one. Eventually what I would like to do is actually get rid of this and donate it, and then get another one of these. But these are $800, which I do not have right now. But look, there would be more room for activities. I don't know, because eventually I could have that one there and another one sort of on the corner. And I have this big one where it is. I don't know. I feel like this space could be used better. The toy and its fluff. What do you think? Could I use the space better? Help me. Good morning, team. It is Sunday, about 8 o'clock in the morning. I've just taken the dogs to the park. I'm trying to speak quieter because Rachel's asleep in that room. So I'm sorry if this audio is a little bit low. You can probably still hear the dogs walking down the hallway. I am looking to sort of take my YouTubing, or how I produce content, back to its roots, because I've been feeling a little bit lost lately, and it won't change for anyone on your end so much. 2 videos will still be going out every week, but I felt like every week I've been like trying to catch up with content. There's all this stuff that I want to make, but I don't sit down and do it. So for the last, I would say, couple of months, maybe even since being in this house, I've really just done like the 2 videos, even 1 video that I want to get out the next day. Whereas when I started YouTube, and like the OGs will know that I used to put out a fair bit more content, what I would do is I was actually plan out a whole month of videos and what I would be doing each and every month. And then I would do like an overview. I'm not going to go back to doing overview so much, but I might go back to planning. And what that let me do was I would spend 1 day per fortnight filming content. So that would be 4 videos that would go out that week and the week after, and then that would give me a 2-week span to then plan the next 2 weeks. Or if I had the month out, I could then, you know, if I script it, if it's like a book review or something like that, because I'm trying to get book reviews back in there, I'm hoping that will help sort of get back into the planning, because I'm a planner by nature. I like to do lists and things like that. So it's Sunday morning. I have no content to go out next week. So what I'm looking at doing today is at least planning the next 4 videos. So I know I want to do the Persona book tag from Taylor did that over at Made Between the Pages. It's an original tag. and tag some people. I have pre-recorded it, but it was like real trauma dumpy, and I don't want to do that to anyone. So we're going to make that a little bit more lighthearted while still talking about the same books. And I'm happy to share information about my life. It was a bit much for the audience. So I'll re-record that. I want to do the indie releases today, and then I have a couple of fun things that I asked questions about over on X before people started leaving with the recent election and things like that, which is completely fine. Like, I get it. America and the world on a wider scale is hurting right now, and I think everyone needs to do what they need to do to protect themselves without getting too political on here. I think a lot of people are scared right now. I would be very scared if I was in the country, being part of the LGBTQIA plus community. And yeah, so I get it. But I did ask a few questions over there earlier in the year, and I just never made those videos. So I'm going to hunt down all of those answers. I did like screenshot them back in the day, so it shouldn't be too difficult, and make those 2 videos as well, which I think was I'm on a book buying ban, and also the great genre blends within the indie scene, which is a video that I wanted to make, so I've got a few great genre blend recommendations of my own. So that is what today holds. I'm going to go and prep that now. I'm going to do up my little weekly goals. So I'm sorry for I did a little weekly goal planner for the week. I'm going to set up next week's as well. Again, back to my roots, trying to feel a little bit more in control. This sort of stuff, it may seem childish to other people out there, but it works for me, so I'm going to do that. And then I've got a podcast later today with Ryan where we are talking about, we were going to talk about hobbies and where they fit into our lives, but it is Transgender Awareness Week coming up, so I thought maybe we'd talk about the trans memoirs that we've read and record that one instead. So that is the day. I don't know how much reading is going to get done. I'm going to dedicate today to content planning, but I would really love to read at least the next 10% of Mask of Mirrors, because I just want to drop everything and read it. But alas, I have so many things to get done. But potentially that is on the cards. I haven't started River of Stars yet, which was Rachel's pick for me, so I may go to that and then try and do like one day on one day on the other, which is what I generally do. But I don't know, this book is really calling to me. We'll see what happens. I'll catch you in the next update. Sunday plans have been derailed. I've decided spontaneously that I want to go and get Rachel some flowers and baked goods before she wakes up. Just because. We went with the rainbow one. It's a walk time. It's a walk time. Is that what's happening to you? Hello everyone, it is Monday. I am starting manuscript edits and rewrites. I thought I would tackle this the way I did my second draft, which was like 2 chapters a day, and that's not going to happen. So I've just done the prologue, and it ended up being like a rewrite of the prologue to make it make more sense. So my aim today was 2 chapters. I think I'm going to have to take a step back from that and go 1 chapter, my personal process as of now. Like, I've done the prologue, but I think what I'm going to do is I've read this, I've made my notes, I'm now pretty clear on the changes that I want to make in the manuscript. But today I read all the notes that she put in the prologue, thought about it for like 20 minutes, had a cup of coffee, came back, rewrote it. So I'm going to do that for every chapter, and I will try and tackle 1 chapter at a time. I have 2 really long chapters in the book, which may take more than a day, but I'm hoping, because of the ideas, I'd really ideally like to do a chapter a day. That's not saying I'll work on it every day, because work is busy, life is busy, we're getting into holiday season. I still would love to be done by the end of the year, and that is the current goal. So I've put my little goals this week as to work on it at least 4 days this week, which would hopefully mean up to the end of chapter 3, but we'll see. Anyway, I bought myself a present, which is just more nano blocks, which I keep buying more of, and I haven't had time to do. Well, I don't buy more of. I've got quite a few gifted, but I've got one in here that I'm very excited about, so I'm going to open it up. I finally found somewhere that sold the hammerhead shark It is the last shark of the nano blocks that I don't have up there. But I also have a different coloured great white shark. I have like a dark blue one up there. You can't really see it, but I now have, I think I've done all the sharks. And then I found a grizzly bear, which I've never seen before, and I thought that was really cool. So I bought a grizzly bear, and then I got a couple of like Christmas presents for my housemate when we do our family Christmas. So our family Christmas, our house family Christmas, because we're all living away from our families at the moment. But yeah, I have bought many. Well, I have many nano blocks. I bought these 3 recently. I've done all the other ones that I've bought. But my housemate did some Temu shopping before she realized that's a terrible idea and bought me a box of like B-grade marine life blocks, which I haven't done yet. I've done the shark because shark shelf must be done. And then the next 2 I'll do very likely will be the 2 sharks. And then we'll see. There's heaps of them. I don't have a lot of space for them until I get another bookshelf to expand. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, the rest of the day, I'm going to try and read more Mask of Mirrors. I would like to get to page 300. Ideally, I'm at 185 now. So that means a lot of reading. I also need to do the videos for the week. So I've filmed them, I just haven't edited them. And then I would like to run some errands with Rachel because I've got some more stuff at the post office that I need to go and get. We'll see what happens. I always have big ambitions on days off and then half of it happens and that's okay. So I'll catch you when I've read something. I did start River of Stars, but I'm like 8% in. I don't have enough thoughts to share yet. Okay, see you in the next update. All right, good evening, team. It is Wednesday the 13th. It is 6 o'clock. It is time to finish this vlog because housemate comes home tomorrow. You can hear weird noises. Rachel is watching reels in the bathtub. I read nothing else. Work has been crazy. I think I mentioned that already. It is taking all of my brain space right now. I read up to page 300 of The Mask of Mirrors. Loving it. Every time I'm reading it, I'm sucked into it. At the moment, 30 pages before bed seems to be what's happening. I haven't read any more of River of Stars. What I have read, I've enjoyed. It carries on after the events of the first book. I'll keep on with that. The rest of my like plans for the month are finish Mask of Mirrors. I'm hoping by the end of this weekend, we'll see what happens. River of Stars, and then I have 2 beta reads that I need to get on, so I may not read anything else outside of that. It's a slow reading month, that's okay, we accept that. So the 2 beta reads I have are the latest from Joshua Walker, which was a surprise to the beta reading team. It's another little novella, I think it's about 1,400 words. And also Ronit J has a dark fantasy, I want to say, I cannot remember, but I said I would beta read that at the end of November. So I don't know what that noise was. I'll finish Mask of Mirrors. I'll read the beta for Ronit J and Josh. Go back to River of Stars. I am probably 75% of the way through of The Shadow Rising by Robert Jordan. Really loving it. Loving the unpacking of the Black Aja and the girls having to like go and find out all of that and like just getting a more in-depth look of the intricacies of the Aes Sedai. Really cool. Having a great time with it. Rand hasn't annoyed me as much in this one. He's still annoying, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't annoyed me as much in this one, which gives me higher hopes for the rest of the series. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Lots of medical stuff happening over the next few weeks, so that is also taking up time. My manuscript, I did 4 pages last night, claps for Kris, learning that dev editing is basically rewriting a lot of stuff. So my aim is to do dinner, go and do another 4 pages or an hour, whatever that looks like, and just keep the habit of doing it up. Anyway, dinner time, cooking vegan spaghetti, and then I'm going to go do the rest of the stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you like the content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will. I will catch you in the next video. And yeah, stay sane, friends. It is a busy time of year. Ciao.